The controller of the city of New York, an enormous opportunity, several different areas. First, you mentioned the pension funds. It is not only ensuring you get the return you can get, you need to understand capital markets to take advantage of that opportunity.
Right.
You need to understand how to invest. You also need to understand how to use ownership. I've said and written, probably said to you in the past, ownership trumps regulation, ownership trumps prosecution. If we want to reform corporate governance, which we do, the way to do it is not through regulation, it is through owners standing up and saying, here's what we have to do to do better.
And that means telling the banks how you want them to behave.
Absolutely.
Because
it
you
means,
are an owner of the bank.
That's right. It's when you own something, you're invested in it. It's your responsibility to participate in governance.
So
Passive
banks, gun companies, what kinds of things
there are
a
range of issues. Some of the more social types of issues, like not investing in companies that are marketing the AR-15, the automatic weapons that generate huge damage in our society. Those are social type judgments that can be made sometimes. The obligation is to get a return. So I'm talking more about choosing boards of directors who actually understand the business, not board members who are cronies, friends, and will go along to get along. Having board members who understand what leverage is all about so we don't have an economic cataclysm the way we did in 2008. This is to preserve our markets. I have a book coming out next Monday called Protecting Capitalism Case by Case. It explains why the cases I made as Attorney General show an understanding of markets and capitalism that stands apart from the sort of ideology that was being propagated by the free marketeers. They didn't understand capitalism. I think what we are going to do using ownership will generate a better understanding of capitalism.
How many best friends do you have who work on Wall Street right about now?
Well, if you'd asked how many did I used to have when I was investing our family funds, I used to have more. But you know what? Here's the thing. There's a difference.
I mean, Wall Street doesn't, you were known as the sheriff of Wall Street, right? So you're talking about now running money for a humongous pension fund if you are elected to this position. And you really don't have a lot of friends on Wall Street.
Let me draw a distinction. There is a universe of folks who don't like me. That's fine. For me, this was never personal. I would get along fine with them if they wanted to sit down and have a cup of coffee. But there are people who are in that small universe, a much larger universe, who come up to me and say, you're right. We may not want to say it publicly, but you're right. Because they understand markets. They understand what happened between 2006 and 2010, this false bubble that was inflated that then collapsed, destroying huge value for the American middle class. They understand that. So we have to learn and move forward. So I think, yes, there's some folks who are edgy and will say some critical things about me. I get that. But there's a larger universe of people who appreciate that what I was trying to do, even though they didn't want to do it at the time, was make the markets work and have some integrity.